Let's take a look at how we can make a really cool portrait or beauty shot by putting all the light behind the subject. Wait, did I say behind? All right, we'll make it work. Hi, I'm Joe Edelman, and you're watching The Thoughtful Photographer, the web series that teaches you how to think like a professional photographer and pulls back the curtain on the thought process and psychology of making great photographs. If you've read any books or taken a class about studio lighting, you've had your head stuffed full of lighting arrangements like Rembrandt lighting and clamshell lighting and butterfly lighting, and let's not forget 2-to-1 ratios and main and key and fill, and I think you get the point. Generally, the same people that taught you that stuff told you all the rules that go with it. Phooey. Listen, it's important to know and understand that stuff, mainly so that you have a foundation to know what not to do if you want a result that is truly creative. I'm going to walk you through a recent beauty shot that I did where I placed all the light behind my subject. That's right, behind. So let's take a look at the setup. Obviously, if we don't want this to be a silhouette, we have to find some way to get light on the model's face. So you can see I have my model sitting in front of a pair of white reflectors. On the left and the right of the camera are 2 8-foot-tall reflector panels that I built myself. Yes, I will do a tutorial on how to make them soon. And then I've used spring clamps to attach 2 Walmart reflectors above and below my subject. Now, if you don't know what a Walmart reflector is, you can click here to watch a video about it. The idea is to reflect as much light as possible back to my model's face. Now, in this setup, I'm using 2 strobes aimed at the background. I have one of them placed on each side. I also have 2 strobes aimed at my subject to get a little rim lighting. We'll talk about those in a minute. First, let's discuss the strobes real quick. The strobes aimed at the background are Paul C. Buff Alien B 800s. These strobes are rated at 320 watt seconds. Working in a small studio space like this one, they provide more than enough light for almost anything that you would want to shoot. The strobes that I have aimed at the model as rim lights are Alien B 400s that are rated at 160 watt seconds. The rim lights are dialed down so they provide just a little bit of highlighting on the edge of the model's face and shoulders. This rim lighting helps to create some depth, and it gives the image a little pop. Notice I'm also using a set of barn doors and a 30-degree honeycomb grid to make sure that these lights don't create flare since they're aimed near the camera lens. It's worth pointing out that this backlight concept works best with a white background. We're relying on the background to reflect the light from the 2 Alien B 800s. And also, let's be clear, auto exposure is not going to work here. Even if you're using speed lights with TTL metering, this lighting arrangement will probably throw them for a loop and give you a muddy silhouette. The bottom line is if you want consistently good exposure results in a studio, you won't be using anything auto. So the exposure is based not on the amount of light hitting the background, but the amount of light reflected from the background to the reflectors in front of the model and back to her face. In short, I'm exposing for the shadows. Just recently, I started shooting tethered using Capture One Pro 7 software. I'm still working my way through the learning curve with this program, but I'll tell you right now, it puts Lightroom and Nikon's Capture NX and pretty much any other capture software to shame. Additionally, Phase One, which is the company that makes Capture One Pro, has a ton of really great tutorials available for free, as well as an excellent support website. But be forewarned, it comes with a hefty price tag, and it only works with Nikon, Canon, and medium format cameras with digital backs. Now here you can see the setup in the studio with a 15-inch MacBook Pro sitting on a tether table. This setup allows me to remain very mobile when shooting and gives me the added benefit of seeing large images and being able to really finesse a shot. I always talk about the idea of working a shot. You know, not just shooting your first idea and walking away. So in this case, I went with a real simple modification. I switched to a black background and simply turned off the 2 strobes that were aimed at the background. Of course, I had to adjust my exposure because now the only light hitting the reflectors was coming from the rim lights. That's why the highlighting on the jaw and the hair looks brighter in this version than it did in the original version. As for the end result, I like each of them for different reasons, but there's only one best shot. So I'm curious, which do you like and why? Post your answer in the comments section below, and then follow me on Google+, and I'll post my selection in a few weeks. Be sure to use the link in the info section below to the matching article on my blog site that also contains links to all the products and suppliers that I mentioned in this video. And be assured, I did not receive any money, products, or consideration from the companies whose products that I mentioned. That's all for this episode of The Thoughtful Photographer. I'm Joe Edelman, and until next time, keep thinking, keep learning, and keep shooting. And hey, if you like what I'm doing, please give the video a thumbs up and take a second to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss a single episode.